I don't really need any more training specifically, but I can't settle for that. I'm hungry to know more. Over the course of my 2016 to now, it's been roughly over $15 million in yearly grants. This is my job for right now, but I don't know what God has for me in the future. I need to keep working on this. Then I'm ready for the next step when that next step comes.
We get asked all of the time, is the collective the right place for me if I'm an in-house grant writer? Missy joined the collective as an in-house grant writer over a year and a half ago, having served as a grant writer, administrator, and manager for nonprofits for over 10 years. Literally, she has won and managed over $15 million in grant funding. So why did she need additional training? Why did she seek out a grant writing community? Because her quest for coaching, knowledge, and community honestly cannot be quenched. If you want to know what growth mindset looks like when it is embodied, it looks like Missy Williams. Missy, I am so grateful and honored that we finally get to chat. I've been wanting to do this forever. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited too.
Thinking back to your life pre-collective, what drew you to seek a grant writing community and training?
I'm in such a specific niche and there's not a whole lot of training. So I was looking for a certification, maybe a university, something like that. And I stumbled upon Meredith Noble's amazing videos. Then I found the collective, checked with my husband, and he's like, yeah, I think this is it, and dove in.
Are you grant writing before you joined the collective, or is this totally brand new to you?
Yes, I've been grant writing in my current position since 2016. I've been in the nonprofit world over 20 years. Back in the day, I used to own my own gourmet food company, and I wrote a very small grant for the Texas Department of Agriculture, and they awarded me the funds.
That's so cool. Have you identified as an entrepreneur kind of your whole life?
My great-grandmother was an owner of a funeral home, and that was way back in the day. I think it just comes within my DNA, I guess.
I love that. You've been doing this for a while. Why come get trained?
In my position, I don't really need any more training specifically, but I can't settle for that. I'm hungry to know more. Before I learned grant writing, I was like, there is more to know. I want to be that one that can bring more to my organization. I can be a better, more valued employee because I've taken it upon my own initiative to go outside the box and learn more. So when it comes up in meetings, I can provide a supporting reason why someone's not being difficult. It's because it puts us in a better position when we have an audit. And I love audits because we're doing everything as right as I know. And if they can identify and highlight something that we're not doing correctly, bring it on, teach me. You won't have to teach me again.
I assume that you don't have other grant writers on staff with you.
I actually do. TMPA, which is who I work for. There's several grant managers under the same roof, but we all have our own niche within the behavioral traffic safety. It's small. It's like 150, 160 employees. And the grant side is even smaller, maybe 40. It's very unique.
You have a definition of success.
As I started in the training and talking with friends and family about what I was doing and the things that I was learning, things did start to evolve. And the interesting thing is my son is an executive director for a sports organization in Vancouver, Washington. My skills have been able to help him on a volunteer level to help him navigate through hoping to find and identify a funder and doing a funding strategy for him so that he knows what to ask for. I bought him Meredith Noble's book and sent that. He devoured that in a day. We're able to connect on mother to son, but on a different level as well, hoping to fund more opportunities so that he can advance and it can bring it to more people in that community, which is super exciting.
There is this element to entrepreneurship that allows you to make impact in multiple directions. You're impacting your life, but then that trickles out to so many other areas. You just highlighted that beautifully. Take me back to a really challenging moment in this journey.
There was an opportunity for training in my specified area. I was really, really wanting to go to this. It was just the price to get me there because the course was free. I took it to my supers. My immediate boss was very supportive, absolutely. Higher ups denied my training. That was pretty disappointing because I didn't think I was asking for much. So my husband and I talked about it and he was like, if this is valuable training, which it sounds like it is, you need to go. So I took vacation time, paid for the trip all ourselves, and it really was the best training training, and everyone in that area was so grateful that I came. I had a lot to impart and share with the different people throughout the entire nation that attended. They thought my information I brought was valuable because the way our grant is structured, and then in return received great value from them all across the state. Then when I stumble across Meredith and the Learn Grant Writing Collective, it just reinforced from what I've experienced already. I'm going to keep investing in myself. I don't need anybody else to pay for it. It would be nice if you'd partner with me, but if not, I see the value. I will pour into myself, and I have a supportive husband, my biggest cheerleader. It was just a perfect fit, perfect timing. I know now that that no had to happen, catapult me to where I am today.
You are demonstrating why employees often leave organizations, because they aren't nurturing you, because you're going to do what is in best interest for you. And ultimately, that probably means leaving them at some point so that you can go and make the impact that you want to make in the places that you want to make it.
Well, the nice thing with the way my parents raised me, and that's the integrity that I have to look at it in the mirror every single day and be proud of who I am, regardless of the noise out here. I don't need to be part of the noise. I will love people regardless of what's happened, because that will make me a better person. I will have more peace. I'll be able to help more people. It's the way that I prefer to live my life.
Reminds me of why I just love this community so much. What are you most proud of in this journey?
I think the thing I'm most proud of is not letting that noise that I was talking about impact me, keep me stuck in there. This is my job for right now, but I don't know what God has for me in the future. I need to keep working on this. Then I'm ready for the next step when that next step comes.
Let's talk about that next step. Do you have a vision for what you want to do in the next couple of years?
I'm working on my vision board and working on those more longer term goals. I've realized that I haven't given enough time to myself to reflect and go, wait a minute, where do I want to be in 3 to 5 years? I am working on identifying that.
How do you make time for whether it's extra learning or actually landing that client? Like,
I think really, since I've been doing this for so long in streamlining processes and working the whole adage, working smarter, not harder, my 40 hours a week is designated to my full-time job. And I protect that with everything that I have, just like I protect my personal time.
so we would love to know more about the work that you're doing and the insane impact that you are having. Just tell us a couple of your stats and then also maybe describe one of the projects you're working on.
Over the course of my 2016 to now, it's been roughly over $15 million in yearly grants. One of the things that I was most proud of as far as strategy goes, it was able to access more funds because one of the grant trainings was capped out at, say, $650,000. In order to find more funding, we split out the training and they awarded us all 4 of those grants under our particular team. So that was great.
15 million in funding is just insane. And then I'm just going to put this in there, and you've never missed a deadline.
No, I've never missed a deadline. I back things out because there's always problems. It always happens.
Do you have a rule of like, I submit 7 days in advance or 3 days in advance, or just never on the deadline?
Well, this year was unique because we actually submitted on the deadline, which that has never happened. My spreadsheet disappeared. They couldn't recover it. Have no idea what happened. I had to rebuild it. Wasn't terrible. It was already in my mind because I had already walked through it. It still took the time to do it. So I typically back things out considerably. I try to work ahead where working ahead is prudent, not work ahead when it's not prudent. And literally, I've not missed a deadline. And I work really hard at that. It's very important to me. Things will come up and other people may have forgotten or they're traveling and then they need to get back to us. It doesn't begin and end with me. It's people above me that have the oversight. I have to wait for that all go, or no, you need to redo, or we're not going to do that. I rely respectfully on them and try to allow them enough time.
It is so clear how seriously you take your job, how seriously you take this work. This isn't a silo. Like, as much as we love to write or we want to work in the silo, it requires us to work with various people, whether we're seeking approval or not. And a great grant writer knows that, plans for it in advance, which you do. And that's why you haven't missed a deadline, right? Because you're managing it 20 steps ahead.
I try. Yeah. And I'm always looking to learn from other people too, whether it's professionals, whether it's a podcast. There are people way smarter than me that have done things that can add value, or, hey, I've not tried that. I'm going to try it. And then it might work.
Some rapid fire questions. What is one word to describe your dream lifestyle?
Intentional.
Next vacation spot.
Vancouver, BC.
Favorite podcast.
Besides the Unicorn Collective podcast, the one that I'm listening to more recently is Ali Abdaal Deep Dive.
What are you reading right now?
I'm reading 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Berkman.
Last TV show you binged.
Great British Bake Off. I love that.
What is your superpower?
Consider naivete a superpower.
Oh, Missy, you have reminded me 20 million times in this conversation why I have literally the best job in the entire world, because I get to be in community with you and the other unicorns who sparkle brightly as well. And I'm just so thankful that we get to support you on this incredible journey of yours.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. I've just been so grateful to meet and get to know you, Meredith, Rose, even virtually. I know we're going to be meeting in person very soon. I'm excited about that. And it's one of my deep desires to always work with y'all, and being part of the collective is one way to be part of that world and learn and grow for myself. One of the things that I think is really important for anyone who's not even in the grant writing world, but on a humanitarian level, to know that this collective has taught me one of the most valuable lessons, and that's to celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Every opportunity in the collective, people are chatting, going, oh, that's great. How are you going to celebrate? And in the beginning, it was like, what? Celebrate? I did my job. Oh,
Right.
but you can celebrate that. I was like, okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to still continue to program myself. Celebrate, celebrate.
Well, that just fills my heart up so much. Thank you so much, Missy.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.